Ooh, hey.
Hey.
What are you wearing?
Oh, this is my new Into the AM shirt. You like it?
Oh, I love it.
Nice, nice. You know, you can get your own if you go to intotheam.com. You enter the code CBU10, that's CBU10, you get 10% off of your whole order.
I think I'm just going to take yours.
Oh, like that.
Yep.
Hey guys, Into the AM has a complete line of outerwear. Go to intotheam.com and check out their complete line of shorts and shirts. You're going to eventually come across my stuff. Now, if you find the stuff that you like, feel free to purchase all you want. Just use the promo code CBU10, that's CBU10. You're going to get 10% off your entire order, or even a subscription service. intotheam.com/CBU10. And yes, my wife really did steal that shirt. Hey guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University. I brought Warda.
Greetings. It's me again.
That wasn't completely entirely synthetic, but...
Trying to be less synthetic. Trying to be more human.
Less Barbie dollish?
Less robotic.
Less robotic?
Yeah, less Data.
Data, Star Trek. Yeah, how you liking your Discovery? You just finished watching all of them. Made me watch that last episode with you.
I love season 2. Season 3, I'm just like, what? We're back to the beginning again. They're trying to figure themselves out. Yeah, it's all good.
Some of the characters seem a little forced, if you will.
Everything kind of seems forced. Like, yeah, even
Michelle Yeoh is killing it, though.
She's amazing. She's my favorite.
Oh, yeah. Everybody else on that ship can just fall into a black hole.
Well, she can't exist in a vacuum. She needs people to play
No,
off
I'm
of.
pretty sure that she could just go in there and man that ship by herself and kick everybody's butt.
Burnham is my biggest pet peeve because, like, they kind of dialed her back to the beginning. It's like, what happened to everything she learned?
I don't know who that character even is.
That's
so anyways,
Michael Burnham. It's the main character.
Oh, the main character. Okay. Well, you said Burnham. Anyway. So burn the freaking show. How about this? Let's talk about episode 43 of the podcast. Let's kick some butt.
Yeah.
Yes, butt. Butt is when you try and say kick some butt and kick some booty at the same time. It just comes out butt.
A merging of words.
Right? So Wonder Woman 1984, probably my favorite news out this week, that it's dropping in movie theaters on Christmas Day and HBO Max on Christmas Day. And no extra charge on HBO Max. You get the subscription, boom, you're good.
Okay. Are you planning on watching it?
Yeah, we're going to have to get that subscription.
Cool.
We're going to have to get that subscription. Got to see what's up. DC is going to be dropping it on the 16th overseas. And I'm wondering, like, is Canada technically considered overseas? Anything outside the United States should be considered. I'm just saying, like, I would like to see it on the 16th. Of course we're not. But we're also not in America. So, I mean...
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to...
How about this? How about the Caribbean? If I'm in the Caribbean. How about if I'm in Puerto Rico? That's considered overseas.
Yeah.
There's water.
Yeah, true.
Niagara Falls. There's water.
Okay, that's not the sea they're thinking about. They're thinking about the oceans.
I'm worried about myself, okay? I'm not worried about phonetics. I'm not worried about linguistics. I'm worried about myself. Yes, I want 2 weeks early this movie.
Okay. Well, technically, you guys always get things first. So now it's time for the rest of the world to get things first.
Who, America?
Yes.
There's a lot of people shouting you down right now.
No, from my perspective.
F your perspective. Europe always gets the stuff like a week in advance. Always.
I don't know.
So anyway, it's cool. Hey, we got a new 50-inch TV, nice and crisp and clean.
Oh my gosh, the kids can't stop talking about it.
Nothing. Yeah, I know. Movie theaters got nothing on it. They just saw some friends 2 days ago that they haven't seen in forever. They're just like, hi, we got a smart TV. Wow.
To be honest, anytime that we have like the teeniest tiny little new thing in the house,
right?
They're telling their teachers on the computer, like,
right?
We have this new thing in the house.
We got another water filter.
Yeah.
Daddy's obsessed over the water. But here, one of the reasons why they try to give some baloney fluff reasons, but then some other people were talking about why the reasons were from the inside. And they said, at the end of the day, it's not just about choice. It's not just about, oh, yeah, we've got it. Because the original things like, oh, we're going to give them options. And, it's a new world. And, the pandemic and stuff like that. And, and other people are just like, yeah, we don't want it to be stale. Like the Wonder Woman movie is done. We're gonna lose money on it. It's obvious. It's evident we're gonna lose some money on it. But I mean, for crying out loud, the movie can't just go stale. So we're gonna release it, and we're gonna hope for the best, and we're gonna be checking it out. We're gonna be seeing what happens because you gotta hope something good is gonna come of it.
Yeah.
What do you call it? There's another reason also, and I can't remember exactly what it was. Because they've got all these subscribers for HBO Max, and they said there are people who are subscribed but they don't watch it, and it's like it's telling. These are the people who are this close to just canceling it. Yeah, exactly, and they're not going to come back. Those kinds of people, they usually don't come back. It's like, some good stuff is out. Yeah, whatever. I'll wait till it comes on DVD. Yeah. Yeah, that's hugely telling. And with Disney Plus, with Disney period, saying we're going to be focusing on our streaming service, the streaming network, Disney Plus. We're going to be focused on those streaming television shows and movies. That's going to be our main focus. Warner Brothers is kind of looking at it saying, if Disney's doing it, one of the biggest companies in the world, we should probably be doing that too. I mean, also the biggest company in the world, Amazon, that's one of their main pushes,
I mean, like, it'll give me an incentive to check it out finally. One of my favorite shows that you hate, John Oliver's show. This week, last day, whatever it's called. Like, it's there, right? And I don't get to watch it. I just get to watch the little clips or whatever that they put on YouTube. So if we get it, then I could be like, is it worth it later on?
I could stab my eyes out.
Then I get to finally actually watch my show.
I'll bet you he'll get boring after a while. Anyways, you know what else you got to see was the trailer for Batman Soul of the Dragon.
That was actually good.
Yeah, the new animated show. Yeah,
that's a show?
Not a show, excuse me, the movie. The new animated movie that's going to be coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, that looks really good. I think the kids would even dig it, like the way it's structured.
Can't let them see those shows because there's going to be violence, there's going to be blood. It's not going to be rated E for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, the DC animated movies are usually made for adults, stuff like that.
No.
Yeah. How do you feel about Black Panther 2 reportedly beginning production in July of 2021?
Very sad. Excited maybe a little. Like, I definitely want it to continue. So, conflicted. Because I don't know.
Conflict is a good word for it, I think.
Yeah. What have they decided?
They haven't. They just said that they're going to begin production July of 2021.
I forgot her name. The actress for Shuri, when she was recently asked, she
was Letitia Wright.
Yeah, she was like, how does she phrase it? Essentially, like, we haven't decided on a direction, and like, right now we're just grieving. Yeah,
we talked about that here a couple weeks ago.
Okay, yeah.
And now they decided to finally just move forward because you gotta.
Like, it's heartbreaking.
It is, and again, Chadwick Boseman, he's done some good things, but at the end of the day, Black Panther is a character much bigger 100%. Than any Chadwick Boseman.
I get it, 100%. But for me, like, I connected with Black Panther as Chadwick Boseman. So it's like, I definitely want it to continue. I don't know if I want to see another actor being Black Panther now.
It could just be a minor thing. Yeah, whatever. It could be a minor thing, whatever they're going to do to figure out how to do that. But I believe that it's time for sure to just take the mantle.
Some people are talking about resurrecting Killmonger somehow in the movies.
Well, yeah, because it's been done multiple times in the comics.
Yeah.
So that could work.
I don't know how I feel about that either, though. I mean, like, I love the character of Killmonger. I love the
complexity.
The complexity of it, yeah. Do I want him to be Black Panther? I don't think so. I want him to be there. Yeah, I want him to be there on some capacity, but not as Black Panther. Black Panther is supposed to be idealistic leadership, right? And exactly, like, specifically where the movie left off last time. It was like, we are finally on the world stage.
Honestly, I would have liked to see one more movie with Chadwick as Black Panther before we get Shuri, but in my heart, inevitably it was always, it had to eventually come to Shuri.
Yeah.
But I did also want that mantle to pass back to T'Challa. So we'll see. It's probably going to have to be a recasting, and it is what it is. It's funny, we've recast so many characters in the MCU. So we could do it again.
Like, how many Spider-Mans do we have?
Yeah. Well, that's not even MCU, but yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but whatever.
Like,
it doesn't matter.
Captain America. Like, imagine if something happened, and then Captain America has to be recast. Like, it's just like...
Then it's my opinion. Well, personally, I'm not even a huge fan of Chris Evans to begin with. He's one of those overly simplistic, simple-minded liberals. And it's like, I don't follow anybody's path.
As Captain America.
Yeah, he did a great job, but he's not the only person in the world who could do a great job. I would mourn him if he was gone, but Captain America is bigger than Chris Evans.
I'm still grieving Chadwick Boseman, so
I hear you.
I'm not ready to have this conversation. Oh, I am ready to have this conversation.
Just have this conversation. Deadpool 3. According to Deadline, which is an article on the internet that you can find, and usually Deadline is pretty good. I'm really bothered by this. Deadline is usually really good with their sources and whatnot. Here, they're kind of reporting on an iffy... It's almost to the level of being a rumor that Ryan Reynolds has actually been hired or signed on to do Deadpool 3 because, mind you, that's a Fox property that now belongs to Marvel.
Okay.
So we know that he just met with Kevin Feige not too long ago. I don't remember if I reported on that or not because it was a very minor thing. But now it's kind of important to report on it. So we don't know for a fact. They don't know for a fact if this had actually happened or not. If they actually signed a contract when they met. We only know they met. And now Deadline's reporting, there's some talk. There's some talk? Well, then why are you talking? Like, isn't there enough talking? Let's actually see some results. Let's get some proofs, right? But there's been some talk that, what are they called? Wendy and Lizzie Molyneux. Very French-sounding names, right? Mm-hmm. They've signed up, probably Quebecois.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Because Ryan Reynolds is...
Canadian.
He's Canadian, so probably, these two ladies from Quebec, these sisters. But anyway, they've been signed on to... write Deadpool 3. Okay. So, if that's true, cool. They did Bob's Burgers and a couple other, comedy type movies and television, whatever. So, yeah, it could work out. It could work out really well, but I don't know if it's actually true or not. Mm-hmm. And I hate... the only reason I'm even saying this stuff is because it is Deadline, and they've always been so good about this stuff.
Yeah.
But they've also been really concrete with their sources too, and now this one's really sad to me.
If there was enough noise, then maybe they thought it was important to report on the noise.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe times are tough.
Maybe. I don't think so. There are enough stories.
Also, it turns out that Wrexham AFC, that's a Welsh soccer club. Ryan Reynolds just bought them. He and a partner, they just bought a Welsh soccer club, Wrexham.
Okay.
Did a commercial for it on Twitter and everything. They have this one tractor company called, I can't remember what they're called, but Ryan Reynolds says it in a really funny way, and they keep on promoting. It's like, why are we advertising tractors and, for livestock in Britain? Yeah. Well, because these guys happen to be the sponsor of this football team that we just bought. It's like, I see what you're doing there.
Typical Ryan Reynolds
way. Yeah, he's great at marketing. Yeah. He's great at doing all that goofy stuff.
Check that out.
Right? You know who's great at writing sci-fi? This guy, Alan Dean Foster. He wrote... Okay, no problem. He wrote all three of the original Aliens. So Alien, Alien 2, and Aliens, which is Alien Part 2, and Aliens 3, which is actually Aliens 3. Anyway, what do you call it? He wrote the novelization for these movies. He also wrote the original Star Wars novel, and he wrote the original sequel, The Splinter in a Mind's Eye.
Okay.
And he wrote a whole bunch of stuff. Like, he's out there. He even wrote, what is it, The Force Awakens, which is when Disney took over for Fox. That's when all of a sudden they got the rights to Star Wars, and he was tasked with writing that novelization.
Yeah.
That's the only time he actually technically worked for Disney. So he's there at Disney. And his contract was that he gets royalties. If the books are still in publication, he gets royalties for them. But ever since Disney took over, they haven't been paying royalties. Now, the writers and sci-fi union, whatever they're called, they say they usually try to keep this on the low and just, keep it anonymous and just talk directly with the company. But Disney, the publisher now, taking over for Fox, they haven't been paying, and they haven't even been talking. Mm-hmm. They haven't opened any lines of communication. They're just pretty much ignoring it. So their argument is, if you can ignore someone as big as Alan Dean Foster, what about all the little guys that you're ignoring also?
Yeah.
They give 3 options. Pay the back royalties, and then pay the future royalties going forward, or pay the past royalties and then try and renegotiate the contract, or pay the past royalties and end the contract.
And what happens to...
Which means that you then you stop publishing these books. You let them go out of print.
Yeah.
But in all 3 of those scenarios, you got to pay him his back royalties.
Absolutely.
He went and wrote a letter to Disney, and he addressed it, Dear Mickey. And he's just like, yeah, I wrote a whole bunch of stuff for you, and, it's a drop in the bucket to you, but it's a big deal to somebody like me.
Of course.
I mean, this is his work, and he doesn't, a contract is a contract is a contract.
Absolutely,
and that's the way it should
so
work.
Weird that Disney would actually do that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they pointed out that, like, if this is actually, they're trying to make it a bigger deal, and they're not wrong. Not only if they ignore Alan Dean Foster, can they ignore everybody else, but also if they let the precedent set or let the precedent be made that, that was a Fox contract. So while they certainly inherit the good stuff when they bought it, they also inherit the other contracts and the liabilities. You inherit all of it. If you buy out a bankrupt company, you have to pay that stuff.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But they're saying, if we can just end a contract and all past royalties and all that stuff just because a company changed hands, well, that means they can now set a precedent that they can just shift between smaller companies and, sister companies, and then boom, we're good.
Yeah. A way to absolve yourself of, like, debts.
Your debt, yeah. Your obligations. At the end of the day, it's just ridiculous. It's like, it's human capital. These are real people.
Yeah.
And anything they can do, they want to keep the properties. They want to keep on making the books. They want to, people are buying the books. Well, we got to keep on putting out the books. But then you also have to pay the person who did the work. So, and it is disgusting to see that Disney would do stuff like this. Snyder Cut.
Back at it.
Oh, there's always new, dude. Zack Snyder is one of the best freaking marketers because he just talks to people every week and he just gets that info out,
Okay.
So Zack Snyder wants the Snyder Cut to be released not just on HBO Max, but he also wants an IMAX release because he made this for IMAX. And mind you, IMAX, regular screens we see are the big, wide screens. He didn't shoot that for widescreen. He shot it for the square IMAX.
Yeah.
So it's not widescreen. It's full screen.
Okay.
Which is like, that's not going to work for the rest of us.
Yeah.
It's going to make it weird to start cutting off parts of the movie just to make it wider. Gets worse. He also wants it to be in black and white.
Like, he was given free reins, and he's taken that rein and just running with it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you, boo? That's his work. This is like a creative going bananas.
Like, I can understand the zealots, the cult loyalists who are like, Zack Snyder is my god. Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're going to be like, if he wants to do it in black and white, it's going to be amazing. Can you imagine how amazing it's going to be in black and white? Dude, keep your Kool-Aid to yourself. I am not thirsty right now. I do not feel parched.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, thank you. I do not want to sip. But I mean, like, to the rest of us, I don't know, normal humans who are not cult fanatics, I don't want to see... I mean, I can imagine there being some black and white movies I'd be interested in seeing, remakes or otherwise. But a superhero movie in black and white, I can't imagine that appealing to me.
What was the superhero movie again?
Justice League.
Oh, okay.
See, like if you were to do Zorro, or the Lone Ranger, or the Shadow even, I think I can imagine even Superman by himself. Maybe I could imagine.
Some parts of WandaVision. I think it was last week when we were talking about.
Yes.
Some parts of WandaVision could be black and white.
Well, they will be in black and white because they're actually imitating black and white TV from back in the day.
Yeah.
This, he actually wants to make the movie in black and white, and it's like, brother, I think you've actually lost your mind. He was given 4 parts to this movie. But no, that's not good enough for Zack. He says, I imagine it to be in 6 parts plus an epilogue. I mean, is this starting to sound a little Andy Warhol to you? Like, the next thing you know, he's going to be, doing superhero Campbell's soup cans. This is art because it's beautiful.
I see what you mean.
I have a phone to God. You want to talk to God? Like,
I mean, it could either be pretty good or it's going to flop. Like, ooh.
Oh, what a weak response that is.
What?
Like the safest response. It's either going to be really good or it's going to flop. Wow.
Well, for real though, like, I mean, like he is taking on a lot, but it is.
Would you like to borrow my balls?
No, thank you. I'm good.
Are you sure? Because I say this is the most ridiculous idea. This is literally a crazy man.
6 parts plus an epilogue. Like,
plus an epilogue. So that's technically 7 parts.
Yeah.
But and then a movie in full screen in black and white. I'm sorry.
Hold on. I got a question. Are they going to be released all at the same time or like...
a month apart. So you have to subscribe to HBO Max for 4 consecutive months. Or at the end, just to see it all.
I see.
Yeah. We assume. Because they might say, no.
Yeah.
This will only be... Part 1 will only be there for this month. And that's it.
I mean, like, we did it with Harry Potter. We did it with... What was the other one?
Not in 4 parts. And sure as hell not in 7 parts plus an epilogue. 2 parts. Listen, they did it in Breaking Bad and people were pissed. They did it with Harry Potter, and enough people were pissed.
Yeah,
I know there's.
I was annoyed.
There's a lot more like
I appreciate it, but I was annoyed.
See, we're both fans of Harry Potter, but then there are those special kind of fans who are like, whatever J.K. Rowling does, it's her property. You have to like it and watch it. And it's like, no, I get an opinion.
Of course.
I'm not tied to a slave machine. Like, what does that mean? I have to like it? Shut up. My God, these goofs. We hated when Breaking Bad did it. Breaking Dawn. The Moonlight, the Twilight. The sparkly,
sparkly aliens. Yeah, the sparkly vampires.
No, sparkly fairies. Fairies are sparkly. There was no vampires in that. Yeah.
Vegetarian vampire.
Oh, Jesus, don't. Oh, my God. Oh. Anyway.
I got in line
also the Mockingjay.
Yeah.
Girl, the Hunger Games girl.
Hunger Games,
yeah. She, the Hungry Games? Hunger
Games.
But Mockingjay, that was, I think, the 3rd movie. Anyway, whatever it was, like, they did it. That was also double ending. It's
but this is 6 plus an epilogue.
And one of their actors died during in between the 2 movies.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know his name. He was in Mission Impossible Part 3, I think it was, whatever. He's an amazing actor, a really amazing actor. I wasn't planning on saying this, but, like, his name slips my mind right now. So, but, yeah.
What character was he?
I don't remember. There's a stupid freaking movie. It's a ridiculously stupid freaking movie. Yeah. And they split a stupid movie into 2 parts. How the hell do I know what the stupid thing was called? Okay. He was one of the guys, and he was the blonde guy, and he was one of the people who were in charge, like the presidency type thing. Anyways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, him. Like... like these are just ridiculous ideas that boneheads keep coming out and doing. People who just aren't, and this is the thing that kills me, because I've said multiple times, Zack Snyder is a brilliant marketer, and he gets along with his fans. You know, even when he thinks, you could tell when sometimes he thinks a question is stupid. Somebody went and asked him, and I wasn't planning on bringing this up because it's a very relatively minor thing. Somebody's like, would you ever think about doing the, or doing part 2 to Justice League? And like, I would have slapped this reporter, at least mentally. I would have mentally slapped this reporter and be like, do you even do research? I've said multiple times that I've had plans for 4 sequels, so 5 movies total. I told you that I was already approved to do Justice League 2. I told you that there was plans to do all these different things. Like, hello?
Yeah, so what did he say?
So he's just like, oh, well, you know, that's so far removed. We got to get this done right now, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, well, would you ever consider releasing it animated? He's like, oh, well, you know, again, it's so far removed, but yeah, I like animation. So yeah, I mean, like, who knows? Who's to say? You know, and it's like...
He's diplomatic.
He's a very nice guy. He's a little bit too nice. He's got to be more like, who's the guy who played Joker? Not Jared Leto. See, I'm not prepared for this stuff. I'm just thinking off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But the most recent guy, River Phoenix's brother, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix, he hates reporters. He hates going to press conferences, and he makes fun of them right there by actually calling them stupid. It's like, oh, hey, what do you think about such and such? This is the thing that I've talked about a lot in different things. Like, you could just look that up. I don't know why we're doing this. This is really stupid. Like, he actually says these things. It freaks out in front of these people. And, like, his handlers have to come over and actually get a handle on him. And it's like, oh, it's cool. Okay, it was really great talking to you guys. You guys are wonderful. It's like, that was literally the first question, and I got my head bit off.
Wow.
Like, nobody else got to ask the question. What is this? Okay, talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye. Wow. Like, I think that Zack Snyder needs to be more like that and just start calling stupid people stupid. Like, I'm a fan.
Okay.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, all that being said, like, this is a crazy person talking. This is a person who, even though he talks to his fans, he still doesn't actually I think that's, you know, you're living in like an echo chamber when you have these sycophants. And again, my peeps, there's a difference between a sycophant and a fan, and multiple levels of fans. But there are those fans who just, if this man, Zack Snyder, pooped on the ground, and you're thinking to yourself, I would stand there with him and continue smelling it and be okay with it. And if he said, I feel bad that I just took a dump on the ground.
Yeah.
If you were to walk over and be like, no, it's fine. Look, I'm stepping in. It's perfectly fine. Nobody has a problem with it. Like, you're a sycophant. Or if it's anywhere even close to that mentality, you are a sycophant. And I'm sorry, but you need help.
Like, all the examples that we just talked about are books, right? And those books are established, those stories are established in a solid, between 2 pages, right?
Between 2 covers, yes.
Between 2 covers. So, like, in the example of Harry Potter, like, the last book was very, very dense.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that they divided it into 2 movies so that they don't lose out on stuff.
The first movie was nothing but walking.
Because
they
big
just
chunk,
walked.
But like things happen.
It was a Lord of the Rings ripoff. They were just walking in the woods.
I know, but that's a big part of the book itself, the story itself.
And that could have been condensed big time.
I know, but I appreciate it. It was extended, and I didn't have to say goodbye right away. So, anyways, so like in that example, they kept the story, so they had to do 2 parts, right? But they made me wait, and I didn't like that.
And like, they made you pay twice. They milked us and bilked us.
True.
I felt like a cow.
But like this one, like how established are those stories? I know like with the comics, like there are a lot of stories, but
No, this is not based on the comics. There's some ideas slightly taken and changed drastically from the comics, but no, this is not.
He should have done a series. Like, this is a series.
Yeah, a television series. Honestly, like, if there would have been, like, a television series level, I think I would have appreciated it more. It just, to me, again, this whole thing is just a way for them to, you know, here, let's make some more money off of this. And on top of that, let's make Zack Snyder happy so he doesn't go someplace else and become our competition.
Yeah.
So the whole thing and just indulging this, with all due respect, this crazy person who's just, I got a vision for the superheroes to be in like 3,000 parts and to have black and shades of gray, but no white. And maybe a little bit of green. I want green in the movie because that'll be interesting. And it'll be amazing. It'd be like fertile, like a Virgin Mary. And it's like, dude, you need to, like, yeah, am I wrong? It doesn't sound that different. Like, I'm exaggerating. You're still like, no, that I still know who you're talking about.
Yeah, no. It sounds like this is going to be his legacy work. That's how he's looking at it. Something along those lines, no?
No, I don't see that as being this. This is his unfinished project. You know, Roger Corman did a version of the Fantastic Four, and it was the first version of the Fantastic Four ever brought to theater, or ever brought to film, but it wasn't released. It was just a way for this one particular subdivision of Fox Films to maintain the license, because you have to make a movie every couple of years, otherwise you lose the license. It reverts back to Marvel, which in this case is owned by Disney, so it would go to Disney now. So they said Roger Corman, this guy who's known for making really low budget movies, but they still look really good, you know? Corman is super famous for movies like that. Anyway, they gave him $1 million and said, make this movie for $1 million back in like late 90s.
Okay.
And he did. And they never even released it on video. It was a bootleg. Like, I had to go to Route 18 Flea Market back in Jersey, multiple trips, and find the guy who had a copy so that he could make me a copy. You know what I'm saying? And then I think it was like $5.
Yeah.
And it was totally worth it. And I went home and I was like, this is an amazing movie. Why didn't they release this? But whatever. Anyway, at the time, it really was an amazing movie. And I still say it holds up better than all of the other movies that we've actually seen on TV. Anyway, even him, he was like, yeah, this was the one movie that I made that didn't get released, and I wanted to make a documentary about it and all this other stuff. And like, he's obsessed over it. And I'm like, I feel bad for this guy.
Yeah.
But this is a crazy person talking. You were paid to do this thing. Let it go. But there's like this certain thing with, like, as an engineer, I didn't have, like, there was some creativity there, of course. You know, free flow of ideas, but I didn't, it wasn't like a total creative piece where I'm just like, my vision will not be seen by the world. Yeah. Me, it was like, yeah, this contract that I had for a thing that could change, that could actually change the world. Like, I worked on the original, what do you call it? The original WLAN, wireless internet stuff. I worked on the first time that we actually were able to miniaturize GPS. You know what I'm saying? All of the GPS technology that is inside phones right now, that's because of work that I was a part of. That's a huge deal.
Yeah.
And if for some reason that didn't get out, and it never got out, and we always had to walk around with those old military giant, you know, GPS device, or you remember, like, you know, your dad used to have the thing you'd put on the dashboard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that's the way it had to be from now on, I could still sit in the back of my mind, you know, it would have been better with such and such, but I wouldn't have been like, the world never got to see my vision. It would just be like, somebody screwed up.
Yeah.
So
like you
creative
don't own
people,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we have a better grasp on that reality. The creative people just have this really weird thing about it. It's like, dude, move on. We're going to move on. Okay. I was trying to move on a while ago. How about Wonder Girl?
Okay, what about it?
Well, you know, it's not Wonder Woman, but it technically is.
Okay.
So there's this new live-action TV series. It's going to be part of the Arrowverse, and it's going to be a Brazilian version of Wonder Woman, a character named Yara Flor. So turns out that her mother was an Amazonian warrior. After the Amazonian. Amazonian is actual, like, the Amazon rainforest. Okay. But Themyscira, the Amazons, the Amazonian, that's the female warriors of ancient lore. Anyway, so she, her mom was an Amazonian warrior, and her father is a Brazilian river god. Yeah.
Okay.
It's different. But at the same time, it's still using the moniker Wonder Woman. So, like, they're franchising these characters at this point.
Yeah.
You know, like Star Trek and Star Wars and all these different things. Like, you don't want to take a risk at doing something in a different world? No, Wonder Woman's safe.
Yeah.
Star Trek is safe.
Everything is already established.
Oh, yeah. And even if it has nothing to do with anything else, like the third Cloverfield movie, the Cloverfield Effect, I think it was called, it wasn't a Cloverfield movie. But they threw in a couple things extra because they, you know, to make it tied to Cloverfield, because they're like, it's going to make more money if we call it something with Cloverfield. So, yeah.
Connecting it to all those fans.
But it didn't. Like, all of us could look at it and we realized this didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
They added those two parts in there to make it seem like
Lightning
we knew exactly what was, what was up. And it was confirmed. They're like, yeah, we just threw those things in because we knew it wouldn't sell otherwise.
Wow.
Wow, well, you suck. But in this particular case, DC's Future State. This is a new thing that DC Comics is doing for January and February, upcoming 2021.
Yeah.
Where they're going to have, they're going to get rid of all their old comics for those 2 months and just do new versions of their heroes. A thing that really, for the most part, failed miserably with Marvel when they tried to do it. Like, the Miles Morales was already established and they said, ooh, that did good. Then they made Thor into a woman by actually making it Jane Foster instead of Thor Odinson. And I was like, ooh, that looks pretty good. Then they did Kamala Khan, and, call her Ms. Marvel, and made Carol Danvers Captain Marvel. She was originally Ms. Marvel. And then Axel Alonso, who now owns a different comic book company, he was the head dude at Marvel. He was like, let's make everybody new. So they changed Wolverine. They changed everybody. They changed everybody. And it's like there were no more regular characters. They were called legacy characters now. And it didn't work. And for the most part, if you liked one or two, you didn't like them all. Nobody really liked them all for the most part,
Yeah.
Very few people liked them all anyway. So DC decided, hey, you know that plan that failed miserably with Marvel? You know what we should do?
Yeah.
But they're like, we're just going to put a time limit on it. Anyway, I am kind of happy that they're doing this because it is going to be a Latina version of Wonder Woman. But in the TV show, they're going to call it not Wonder Woman. They're going to call it Wonder Girl. The comics are still going to call it Wonder Woman. So what does that tell you about the difference between
Hold up. So this character,
yeah,
whatever her name is, I can't find it.
Yara Flor,
okay. She's going to be in the series.
She's going to be the lead of the series. She's going to be. But also,
she's already she's a character in the comics as well.
No, not yet. Okay. In January will be written by Joelle Jones.
So in the comics in January, she's going to be Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
Just keep her as Wonder Girl.
Yes.
Continuity.
Why?
Because continuity.
So why not make them both Wonder Woman?
Like, if they want to make it a girl, as in, like, I'm assuming this person is going to be young and, like, learning the ropes and whatnot, keep it that way.
There can't be a young Diana Prince.
They want to create a new character, which is fine. Like, the Amazonians is not just Diana, right? So it's like, fine. They want to pull another one of those women from there.
But in the comics, they're calling her Wonder Woman, so why not call her Wonder Woman in the TV series? I'm
actually peeved that they're calling her Wonder Woman in the comics. They should call her Wonder Girl there.
Why?
Because the continuity, like, she's Wonder Woman is Diana. We know that. So, but then again, you said they're doing that whole legacy thingy, like they're changing.
I'm agreeing with you completely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you to say what is the obvious. It's freaking confusing.
Yes, it is very confusing.
By them making Wonder Girl, it's like, oh, okay. Now, granted, there have been plenty of characters called Wonder Girl, but zero of them have ever been mainstream. But you've got Wonder Woman, and right now Wonder Woman 1984 is going to release January 25th. Everyone knows that's Wonder Woman. She's a white girl, white woman, whatever. Like, that's what she looks like.
Yeah.
If a blonde girl showed up at some point, it'd be like, who are you? I'm Wonder Woman. No, you're not. Get out of here, you blonde bimbo. What are you doing? Like, everyone would know immediately, that's not Wonder Woman. So now, why make her Latina? Why make her black? Why make her whatever? Make new characters. It's not even that hard.
Yeah.
Look, the television shows recognize this. Yet the comic book companies are too stupid. And
besides, like, they
to
don't
use a
need to,
Carlos Mencia joke from back in the day.
They don't need to stick with that name in the first place, Wonder Woman, right? Like, you have a whole, I don't know, ethnicity, whatever breed of human beings called the Amazonians. You got a new character from there. Yara Flor. Call her something else. Give her a different title. Give her her own established identity.
Wonder Girl would be fun. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with just calling her Wonder Girl.
Mhm.
TV series and comic books.
She
And
grows.
you don't have to end my DC Comics for 2 months
Yeah.
while you do this other, with all due respect, effing nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, none of this stuff has to be changed. But no, they just have to overcomplicate it.
That's the word. Overcomplicate it.
Yeah, because it becomes confusing.
Yeah.
Ava DuVernay. She's got a green light to do a brand new comic book movie. I believe it's supposed to be. It's going to be 4 parts on HBO Max called DMZ, which stands for Demilitarized Zone. It's going to be live action, and this is a comic book that came out in 2005, and it's been on the board for 2015, and it's just been kind of sitting there going, I don't know what to do with this. 6 years just sitting there. We're a property. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then they hire Ava DuVernay, and they're like, hey, would you want to do this? She's like, yeah, sure. Hey, you know what? Let's also... So all of a sudden, they've got like almost an entire cast and writers and all these people already assigned because Ava came in and just suddenly took over.
Yeah.
And boom, we're good. That gives me a lot of confidence for her New Gods movie coming out. Because she comes in, she knows what she wants, or she knows how to figure out what she wants. She knows the industry. She knows what's going on. So, me likey that. I love when someone could just come in and someone who's supposed to be in charge actually takes charge.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good thing.
I like that she knows what she's good at and what she wouldn't be good at. Like
that also with turning down Black Panther.
Yeah.
Nadira Tucker. She is I think she's a black woman. Anyway, she was fired from the Superman and Lois TV series, which is technically a part of the CW Arrowverse also. She's a former writer, and she was fired from the show. Now she's coming out and saying it's because of racism. The example that she gives is she pitched hard and incessantly, according to her, may not have used the word incessantly, but I'm paraphrasing because she's saying I pushed again and again and again, which translates to incessantly, for them to make Clark's parents, Superman's parents, black, meaning his adopted parents, John and Martha Kent.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, whatever. It's literally whatever for me. Like, yeah, they're his adopted parents. You make them black. Or aren't they from Kansas?
Yep.
Okay. So to me, but then again, it wouldn't be fair to all the black people that live in places like Kansas. But for me, when I think of places
all of them? All, what, 8?
I think there are more than 8. Like, a lot of times when we think about...
Do you think there's more than 800?
Kansas is in the South, right? Kansas is in the South?
It's Midwest.
Midwest. Okay, still Midwest. I don't know America, okay?
It's all right.
Anyways.
I know. You've only been there twice.
Ish. And all on the West Coast. Anyways.
East Coast, actually.
Yes, I'm bad with directions.
Anyway.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, again, this is a creative who doesn't own the rights to a product, right? Or an idea. So if it doesn't go your way, you're restricted to what they want you to do, or like within the realm of what they don't want you to do. So that's that. Would I have been absolutely mad about making his parents black? No. It would have been interesting to see that dynamic.
I would have despised it.
Yeah?
I would have boycotted the show.
Yeah? Why?
Because I'm a racist, obviously.
Okay, why?
Because it's ridiculous and it's nonsensical and it's a change for the sake of change, not a change with any real brains behind it. Let's do diversity. Diversity is a good thing. We get more people involved. Okay, what do you want to do? Let's make somebody who used to be white black.
Yeah.
That is literally the only idea you've got. You're a freaking idiot. You're a moron. You're partially jackass.
Yeah.
You deserve to be fired. Goodbye.
And it's going to change a lot of things. And it's, for me, I think it would be interesting to see, like, for example, I love Harry Potter, right? But if somebody decided, you know what, I'm going to recreate Harry Potter in like 10 or 15 years from now, but instead of Harry Potter being a boy, I'm going to make it a girl, Harriet Potter, for example.
Why not just make it one of his daughters and continue with the story?
I get it. Definitely, I get that idea.
And add some freaking black people in the movie for once,
I know.
Or in the books.
I know.
There's like one black person there. I think his name was Token. It's a joke.
But like, say this person wanted to recreate Harry as Harry Potter.
Why?
Okay, like, let's just ignore the
Go
why.
on.
It's going to change the dynamics.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay, like, this is not my Harry Potter, but I want to see how those new dynamics look like.
If you want to make a what if and say there's a completely different continuity or whatever, I guess my opinion is make a new story. Stop being lazy.
Yeah.
It is the epitome of lazy to do something like this. Let's go to Nnedi Okorafor and let's take some of her books and let's just make the characters white from Ireland.
Yeah.
Every single person would rightfully say, you are an idiot, you have zero creativity, you don't belong in the creative field, go back to wherever the hell you came from. They would be 100% correct in saying this.
Yeah.
Your average person who doesn't think into it says, like, what if they would just make Black Panther white? No, black is actually a part of his identity. So that's important. Superman's identity isn't based in him being white, but it is based on the values that he has from his planet Krypton.
Yeah, and
from the family, yes, which is from Kansas, the American West, which is, hey,
yeah,
like, look at, it's more peaceful and relaxed here and things like, and it's like, do a what if where he's raised in Gotham if you want. Make his parents black if you want, if you're going to do that. But like explore that, but that's just something entirely different. And I don't need to see that. There are plenty of black characters out there they could do this with. Anyway, look, we've seen that Warner Brothers does have their issues with race. Like, we've seen the Ray Fisher stuff.
Yeah.
Ray Fisher. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that stuff before. And yes, that is racism. They're taking black characters out of the movie that Zack Snyder put in. They come along and they say, oh, we're reducing this guy's role and taking everybody else around him out. Oh, Flash falls in love with a girl named Iris who is black in this version, just like in the CW version. That scene's going right out the door. And oh, here's all these barbers, and here's this one black guy who cut the black actor's hair. You know what? We're going to put all these people's names in the end credits, but not that guy. Yeah, you're effing racist, you pigs! You pigs! That's disgusting. But that's the WB movie verse. This is the CW. Hey, even in the DC Comics, I just interviewed Harvey Richards.
Yeah.
Seems to me that was pretty damn racist how he got fired. His whole career there, they based it on his race, not on his talent. Damn shame. But as far, like, I want to give everything their own individual chance. And when we were just talking about how in the CW verse, in the Warner Brothers TV series for the superheroes, the Arrowverse, like I said, we were just talking about casting a new character, and she's Latina. Excuse me, let's talk like white people do. She was Latinx.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a Latina. Anyways, they got Black Lightning. That's going to be ending with season 4. But there's another character coming out, a main character, black main character, spin-off from that, going to be coming out with a new series. What do you call it? You've got Stargirl, who's a girl. May not be an ethnicity thing, but it's a female lead. Hey, that's a big deal. You've got a Batwoman. They originally had a LGBTQ woman, but she was white. She quit. There was a mutual go away, I'm going away thing. So they decided, let's recast. But we want to make her a black woman. And I think she's LGTB. See, we're both, these alphabets are stupid. They need to come up with a better name. LGBTQ.
Yeah.
So it could just roll off the tongue like black, white, all that. Anyway, they, I don't even remember where the hell I was now because of this stupid freaking alphabet thing.
The black woman being recast.
Yeah, so it's not even just the idea that they're recasting the main character. No. The main character's gone. So there is no more Batwoman. Now there's going to be a new Batwoman. It's not going to be Kate Kane. It's going to be a different woman taking on the mantle of... So this is actually intelligent. It's not just, we're going to recast her, and now all of a sudden she's going to be black. Well, that means you have to recast the parents, too, because if they were white, well, now they have to be black.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise it's stupid. But that's the sister of Bruce Wayne. So now if Bruce Wayne never shows up, he's got to be black also. Otherwise it's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing, it's got to make sense. Because if you have one parent who's black, another parent who's white, and then an Asian child, and that child wasn't adopted, that was a birth child from these two, and there's no foul play with the milkman or something like that, it's going to remove the what is it called? The sense of disbelief. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's going to remove that.
Like this annoying thing that's like buzzing around you.
And it's never going to just go away.
Yeah.
You're always going to be... It's like a suspension of disbelief. There we go.
Yeah.
You can't have any suspension of disbelief.
Like, for me, I'm not invested in the story of Superman or Batman or whatever.
Get out.
I'm not. So, for me, it's like, okay, let's see how this plays out. But to be honest, though, like, the one story that I gave the example of, the Harry Potter one, it wouldn't be my Harry Potter. Like, if nobody can tell me that's my Harry Potter, right? But it's like, if you made it a Harriet Potter, it's like, okay, I want to see. I want to see what they do with it. So for me, I'm more of like...
I think that's pretty much retarded. I think that's the most ridiculous. For what purpose? Have you run out of stories?
Yeah, I know. It wouldn't be at the top of my list. It wouldn't be, like, so exciting for me to see. Like...
Let's make a new Ghostbusters movie and just call it regular Ghostbusters and just redo it like the other ones didn't exist, and we'll just have women there instead. And for what purpose? Any old women? These women? Because these women failed. These women bombed miserably.
It was funny. I enjoyed it.
No, whoa, the new Ghostbusters movie?
Yeah.
You said turn it off.
No, I watched it.
Okay, babe.
Yeah.
We both sat down and we started watching. It was your idea. Hey, let's watch. I was like,
okay,
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
and
I remember.
We didn't even get
halfway
halfway through.
I tried it again and actually finished it.
When? Oh, you're lying.
I swear.
Well, you tell me everything.
Okay, now you're making me doubt. I did watch it. I know how it ended.
How did it end?
I don't know how it ended. Seriously, how did it end? Dude, stop.
Like, I know how it ended.
How did it end?
None of your business. You didn't watch it. Unbelievable.
I thought it was funny, like...
Who made up Mother Fathead?
Yeah, you made that up.
Oh! Exoneration 3 weeks later.
Hold on. The alien in the house was somehow... They were able to...
In Ghostbusters, there's an alien?
Not an alien, the ghost or whatever.
So, I don't think that Nadira Tucker has any chance. Like, with just what she's saying...
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Like, look, maybe there's a Ray Fisher situation where she's just giving us little stuff first, and then she's going to start coming out with the big stuff. In which case, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. But if this is the crux of what she's got to say, they wouldn't take my idea. Hey, bitch, it might be because it was a stupid idea. How about that? Like, it's a stupid idea.
I don't think it was a stupid idea, but the Superman doesn't belong to you. So it's like, if they say no, then it's a no. And you keep moving. You're brought in to do a job, period.
I think it was a stupid idea. I think it was a stupid idea. Because if you just make a suggestion and they're just like, no. And you bring it up maybe one more time, no. And if it's something really, really interesting, where it's just like, this is a dilemma. I don't know what to do about this. You say, I'm just saying if he was black, I'll just shut up. No, you don't like the idea. It's okay, cool. And then you just, come up with other ideas. But if you're just, it sounds to me, like I said, I'm using the word incessant. If this person, Nadira Tucker, if I'm to believe what she's saying and feel what she's saying, the only idea that she had, that she kept pushing, and every time they say, do you have any ideas? Yeah, I told you my idea. Make his parents black. So, okay, we're trying to write the 3rd episode right now. Like, do you have any ideas for the 3rd episode? Mm-hmm. You mean besides his parents being black? I've got an idea. How about his parents being black? Yeah, I would fire her too. In fact, I would fire her out of a cannon. Like, this is pathetic to me. This is pathetic. Okay. No, this doesn't come across as, talking about firing. How about Gina Carano?
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
From me.
Yeah.
So here's some
I
of
like
the...
her.
I like her
hold
too.
on. You said... Okay.
So she puts up this thing. Breaking news, and this is the Fox symbol up there. Democratic government leaders now recommend we all wear blindfolds along with masks so we can't see what's really going on. And then there's the image of them putting their masks over their eyes. Democratic. So, like, for the sake of being really, really, really silly with this, it might not be Democrats. But it might be, because Democratic, well, we're all, this is a democratic nation. We're a republic, but we vote democratically. But in reality, she's probably talking about Democrats.
But also, like, the way this is phrased, democratic government leaders, then now we're not talking about the U.S. alone. We're talking about Canada. We're talking about all the Scandinavian countries, Australia, New Zealand, like, all these democratic government leaders.
I guess you could.
Yeah.
But nobody has to be a Democrat,
Yeah.
you know? So then she puts up this one. In a world where everyone wears a mask, it's a privilege to see a soul. So does that sound anti-mask?
Not necessarily.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Like, it could be, but I think it's more like, to me, it feels like it could also be a loneliness thing.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's got a mask, so you can't see people smile. I say it all the time. You see me sometimes where, you know, I like to make jokes with people, you know, like cashiers or whatever. I'm just like, hey, blah, blah, blah. It's like, so you can't see that I'm actually smiling under this.
No.
And it's like, yeah, I know. It's like all these months we've been wearing masks and I'm still not used to it. Like, I know. Like, but like, there's a big smile. I love you, man. Take care.
I know,
Be good.
That happened to me today, by the way, at IKEA with the baby. The mom was like right in front of me. She's cashing out, and this baby's trying to interact with me, and I'm smiling. And the baby obviously can't see my smile, so now all of a sudden I have to like
start
move around.
pantomiming.
Yeah.
Wow. That's messed up. So anyway, she also does this thing. This is a really long one, but it's a Theodore Roosevelt quote where she says, "Don't worry about the critic. Worry about the person who's actually in there." It's actually an old boxer's thing. It's like, you know, if you're... it's not just he who said it. Other people have said something to this effect also. If you're a boxer, you don't look to the crowd. You don't look to the critics. You look to the other boxer to validate yourself.
I like
you know?
that.
And this one, Grace, look at me. F these people. F them. I need you to be all right. I need you, Gracie. So it's just one of these, things.
So who's trying to get her fired? Is it
just in general, fans who are... whatever. She went off the grid for 2 days to do her thing. She got a big smile. She's saying hi and nice things to Carl Weathers. You know what I'm saying? And just, I don't know, it is what it is. I don't necessarily see it as being like anti-mask. And I definitely don't see it as her being racist. And if she's anti-Democrat, F the Democrats who have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Nobody has to be a Democrat. You know?
Yeah, I know.
I was going to vote Democrat if freaking Bernie got in. You know what I'm saying? But they went and screw this up, so I had to do the freaking, fine, I'm going to hold my nose. And I had to hold my nose hard. I had to pinch to the part where it hurts to vote for freaking Biden. But it's literally a thing where it's like, dude, you're not making it easy for me. You know? What do we get out of it? What do the voters get out of it?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to worry about Trump anymore. You're worried about Trump. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I don't see much of a difference between these people. So what, you want to boycott me too? Because I don't think that the Democratic Party is the freaking party of God? It's like, oh, they came down from a light beam from heaven? F you. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody has to vote the way that you want them to vote. Nobody has to believe the way that you want them to believe. I honestly, it's just one of those things where it's this team speak, group think, and cancel culture mythology of you have to say what we want and exactly what we want, word for word, verbatim, ad nauseum, and make me believe it. Yeah, no, F those people. Like with a baseball bat, sideways.
I call that woke culture.
Yeah, that too. Disney Plus, they're considering a debut for live-action versions of Cruella. Cruella de Vil from 1001 or 101 Dalmatians.
Oh.
Right?
Wow.
They like doing their villains.
Yeah,
they did Maleficent.
Yeah.
They want to do one for Cruella. They want to do a live action for Peter Pan and Wendy. And a live action for Pinocchio. That's going to be a weird one, a live puppet.
Yeah.
And they want to make them debut on Disney Plus.
I'm down for that.
You know what they're not offering to debut on Disney Plus? Black Widow. You know, there's a comic book channel, right?
Yeah, I know. You're mad?
I'm a little flustered, yeah.
Who's going to be acting as Black Widow? The same actress?
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, she gave some potential spoilers also, because a lot of us believe that, like, it's Black Widow and her sister, Yelena Belanova, the other Black Widow, and then she's got a third sister in the movie also, and everybody's thinking, oh, the third sister's probably going to be Taskmaster. But in this particular case, she's leading us to believe that it might not be Taskmaster. Her sister might not be the Taskmaster, which, yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Phil Masters is the name of Taskmaster, and it should stay a guy. I'm just saying. It should totally stay a guy. But anyway. So, that's really all it is for Disney, all that stuff. So I got some WWE stuff to talk about. Okay. So they filed for some trademarks. I'm still remembering that they fired Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
So they filed for some trademarks for monikers. The Big Dog, the Goddess, and the Queen.
Okay.
So they want to own the rights to those monikers so that no one else can call themselves the Big Dog. No one can call themselves the Queen. No one can call themselves the... What's the other one? The Goddess.
That's ridiculous.
It's WWE.
Yeah.
That's those initials they actually stand for. If you spell WWE, that actually spells the word ridiculous. It's like Tom Riddle. I am Tom Riddle.
Yeah.
Changes to Voldemort.
Yeah.
WWE somehow changes to ridiculous.
Evil.
Ridiculoso.
Yeah.
There's another Harry Potter reference. WWE and Undertaker have joined forces to do Cameo. Remember, one of the reasons why they didn't want these wrestlers, they're contracted wrestlers, not employees, contracted wrestlers to sports entertainers to have their own Twitch, their own Cameo, things that can make them money.
Yeah.
So they teamed up with Undertaker. Like, oh yeah, so how about this? $1,000 to do a Cameo. You know how Cameo works, right? Mm-hmm. You do a pre-recorded greeting to someone. It's like 30 seconds long or so. Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, so this is going out to Roger. How you doing, man? You know, your wife did this for you, so for your birthday. So, you know, she got to keep her, man. She paid $1,000 just to have me say, how you doing, Roger? So, you know, hey, make sure you don't sign that prenup and stuff like that. All right, I'll talk to you later, man. You have a good one. That's my time. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that was a good one, right?
Yeah.
I should do some cameos. I should totally do some cameos.
Yeah.
I'll have some fun with them. It's like, dude, disclaimer, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
I'll tell you how much your partner paid.
Yep.
All that good stuff.
that was a good part. Anyway, so they only made 30 spots, and 28 of them filled up. Pretty much like that, within a couple of hours.
Okay.
So only 2 more spots. Once those 2 are filled, and they're going to fill, that's $30,000.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much overnight.
Wow. They're co-opting something that was very... What is the word I'm looking for? Very grassrooty.
Yeah.
Very,
Mm-hmm.
like something that people were doing on their own.
Found a way to make a little side hustle. And they come up and like, is that your milk money?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Figuratively, but yeah.
Yeah.
John Cena is a host of this new show, this redone show called Wipeout. Mm-hmm. It's like American Ninja. It's one of those kind of things, and things just pop up behind you and knock you. Oh, you did? I never heard of it before.
I don't like it.
Well, they're redoing the show. They're going to have it come out again.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the contestants completed the course and died.
Oh, my God.
Got, like, passed out. They had a couple of, paramedic-type people, first aid people there, and then they had to call the actual paramedics. Brought him to the hospital. A short time later, dead.
Wow. Was it like that challenging the course?
Well, I mean, I saw some of the trailers for it that they'd already put out where like people are trying to jump across here and there and they're falling and they're hitting themselves, they're jacking themselves up. And somewhere they're standing there looking at the edge of something and all of a sudden this big spring-loaded thing will jump out behind them and smack them in the back and like, you know, boom, like that, and they'll fall down. And it's like, that's, yeah, no.
I know, I hated all those shows.
Yeah. Yeah, not a huge fan.
Like,
and like you can't just expect people to, I don't know, it's one of those things. Like, you're just expecting people to put their body through these things and surprise. Like, a lot of people don't understand. The most deadly attack you could do is not necessarily a martial arts maneuver. It's called the sucker punch. Mm-hmm. Anything that you don't expect.
Yeah.
You could be standing right next to someone and they just turn around and just, you know, smack you on the back. You know, like, hey, pal, bam, like that. That's a sucker punch. You know? So anything like that, yeah, go figure. Somebody actually died. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And they're putting out, we're really sorry for the family and stuff like that.
And probably that person signed a contract. So
I wonder if the thing's even going to air.
I'm just thinking, like, you know, what happens to that person's family now? Because like contracts usually, they mention those kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you die because of this, you know, or as the complications afterwards, yeah, of course. Of course, you're not wrong. Speaking of settlements, WWE just settled on a $39 million lawsuit. Class action lawsuit at that.
Okay.
There are actually 6 law firms involved in this. This is huge.
Yeah. Who's suing them? What's going on?
Well, the investors in general. The WWE didn't disclose that, you know, they go over to Saudi Arabia a couple times a year to do a show. And they didn't disclose that, we haven't actually consummated that contract yet to go back over this particular year.
Okay.
So they caused the stock to look inflated because, you know, they were indicating that, we got the contract and all that stuff. And, you know, it's, we're set to make a lot of money. And they haven't been going to Saudi Arabia as of late, which means they haven't been getting that money. But they said that they cinched it. So if they did cinch it, there wouldn't be a lawsuit. It'd be like, so they backed out. Well, you have to sue them and blah, 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 whatever. But
like, yeah.
You lied and said you had a contract. So, of course, WWE worrying about bad press all of a sudden. No, they always worry about bad press. They decided to settle out of court.
Of course they did. I was hoping it would be something else, like it was the wrestlers. Ooh, no, they don't have that clout yet.
No, and they're probably not going to anytime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be understood. Wrestlers make a lot of money. You know, they don't have benefits and stuff like that through the company, but they do make a good chunk of change. And it's just the idea of, if I leave this, I'm not going to find work. They're not skilled to do anything else. What are you going to do if you don't get to be a wrestler and you leave? And nobody else can hire you right now. Nobody else can afford you. There's not that much competition.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the WWE, that's the highest tier. You go someplace else, you're not getting a contract of that level. Unless you're Chris Jericho, I guess.
That notoriety as well, like, doesn't help. Like unless you want to be an entertainer or like an actor or something along those lines, okay, maybe. But like if you wanted to be like the rest of us, regular humans, that level of
it's not worth
celebrity,
it.
Like no, like who's gonna hire you?
Malcolm Jamal Warner. Do you remember him from The Cosby Show? He was the boy kid.
Yeah, I know the story. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that said, he's just working out of a warehouse.
A grocery store.
Grocery store,
like
yeah, bagging groceries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks because people still recognize him and asking for autographs.
And then try to shame him on the internet. Not even tried. Shamed him on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was a horrible, horrible, horrible thing to have happened.
Yeah. He's just trying to live his life.
And poor guy was still acting. Like, he was still doing smaller roles, you know, walk-ins and, like, theater stuff and whatnot. So he didn't even leave the field. It just wasn't lucrative anymore. Like, he wasn't sustainable to support his life.
Understood.
Yeah.
it's just one of those things. Like, what kind of work are you going to get?
Yeah, yeah.
When you're working at WWE, you just say, you know what, this isn't fair. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you get?
Yeah.
So nobody wants to take that chance. So, yeah. I don't know, man. It is what it is. Anyway, I'm at the end.
Yeah.
That's really all I got.
We are about time, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not too shabby.
Mm-hmm.
We just keep on doing this the whole night. Or we could actually end this. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Comic Book University alumni. Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, don't forget to check out our sponsor. Wouldn't be a bad thing. I'm just saying. No, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
It helps.
Yeah, definitely does. We'll talk to you guys later. Professor Bill Lindward at Comic Book University. Class dismissed.